Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk about the places we try to look for ourselves. And the one place that I think is a tendency to try to find ourselves, but we'll never find it, is in our mind. We ask, who am I? Where can I find me? How can I know the story about me? Well, the mind, the brain, it's a meaning-making machine. Life is inherently meaningless. It's inherently meaningless. It only has the meaning which you give it. And the meaning which you give it is created within the mind, along with so many other things. The mind, what it does is it evaluates things, it compartmentalizes things, it breaks stuff down into equations, it simplifies things. And while it does simplify things, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, essential tool, there are some things that just cannot be simplified. There are some things that cannot be evaluated to that extent. Short, the mind can't figure it out. It doesn't. It doesn't have the awareness. It's a tool that we use as our higher self, but the brain on its own wouldn't function. Just like our body needs us to move with it, the brain, the mind is used by us, and it's a tool. Oftentimes the tool uses us and we don't even realize it, but we are the ones who are ultimately doing that. And then oftentimes we don't realize it either. So when we're looking for ourselves in our mind, we're asking, who am I? Who am I from comparisons? Who am I from evaluations? Who am I from a label? And then we can cook up something in the mind for sure, and we do. We cook up a story of what we are, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. And whatever we decide on consciously or unconsciously is kind of what we think about ourselves, and involved with a lot of self-limiting beliefs and the things that really drive us in our day-to-day. You know, our subconscious is a collection of our conscious repetitious thoughts, as well as things that we picked up that we might not have realized, like learned behavior, belief systems, and structures. So trying to find yourself in the mind, uh, it's actually only suffering. It only creates suffering because it's looking for yourself outside of yourself. Your mind isn't you, and when you look for you in the mind, you can't find it, but you're gonna come up with a clever story about what you are in the mind and what you think you need to be. And it's only until you begin to realize that who you are can never be found in that place. It's just an understanding and acknowledgement to feel yourself for what you really are. And what you are can't be found in words, in descriptions. It's felt in conscious feeling, in conscious awareness that we are the ones listening, we are the ones speaking, we are the ones hearing, we are the ones seeing through this vessel, through this vehicle, through this giant tool. But since we are the ones using this tool, that's who we are. So a good footnote for today is realizing that you can't ever figure out who you are, because it's beyond figuring out. Because that would be reducing it and simplifying it to an extent where it would be inaccurate, where it would end up being less of what it actually is, where it ends up being a distraction, and it's suffering, it's painful, because it's not true. To seek to find ourselves in the mind is to seek to find ourselves in an illusion of a story. To seek to find ourselves out of the mind as the observer is to not try to figure it out anymore. Just realize you're beyond figuring out. Your higher self, you, is the one who listens, is the one who speaks, is the one who hears,